All right, that being said, it is time for another little-known facts from Stewart's Almanac, okay? With this one, we're going to continue along with some of Pop's stories. You know, he didn't have a whole lot of stories from Vietnam that he could tell me, you know, so I cherish the ones that I do have. And this is one of the ones from that time period as well, okay? Same thing like last time, 1965-ish, middle of some godforsaken jungle in the middle of Vietnam, okay? And this now is in the middle of the summer. Now, we're all from Texas, okay? We understand heat. We understand humidity. We have had some of the worst, okay? Pop has told me this particular moment in this time was the most miserable, hottest frigging month of his entire life. He said it was a heat and a humidity you can't imagine. It was like 150% humidity. Figure that out. He said it was like constantly walking around in hot dog breath all day. All day. He said you can hardly breathe to even sleep, you know. He said he'd step outside to smoke a cigarette, and before he could even light the cigarette, his shirt was just soaked and stuck to him like a wetsuit, you know. It's just a miserable. Well, I told you, they had the base camp, right? And they had the little canteen in there. And they had the outer ring of Army, regular Army, then the outer ring of Marines, and then the outer ring of the Aussies, and then the minefield, right? Well, those guys in those outer rings, especially the Aussies, they worked 7-day rotations. 7 days on the ring, 7 days back in the camp. And you just imagine this, okay? You living in that kind of a hot hell for 7 straight days with no shower, somebody out in the jungle taking pot shots at you from time to time, you know, just pure misery, okay? Keep that guy in mind. Now let's go back to the camp. One of Dad's guys had the afternoon off, right? So he's down in the cantina. Now, check this out. I pictured this, and I told Dad, and he says, yeah, that's pretty much how he was. You think about MASH, okay, the 4077, right? And I see this little cantina, and it's got a little bar, a couple of like 4 or 5 bar stools. It's got the radio up there, and this cat is sitting on the bar stool wearing shorts, ball cap, and a bright freaking red Don Ho Hawaiian flowery shirt, okay? Sucking on a beer underneath the fans in the shade. All right, so that's that guy. So the Aussie comes in for his end of his 7 days, for his 7 days in camp. He goes straight to the cantina. Yeah, he walks in the door and he just drops his pack and walks straight up to the bar and leans against the bar. And he orders a beer. And the bartender hands him the beer, and she says, are you all right? He said, I'm from Australia. I lived in the outback, and I've seen some heat. You wouldn't believe it. He says, it's so hot. It's so hot. And about that time, Dad's guy sitting at the bar, you know, just right down from him, kind of looks over his shoulder, and he goes, oh, man, I know what you mean. My AC broke for about 2 hours a day. I didn't think I was going to make it. That's when the fight broke out. That Aussie beat the shit out of my dad's guy, put him in the infirmary for a weekend. Oh, you can just see how that would make a great TV episode, wouldn't it? Anywho, I guess the lesson and moral of that one is kind of perspective. Okay? We each have our own perspective in life that we walk through. You know, we're dealing with our own mountains of crap, and it's giving our own focus and perspective on life and our situation and the world around us. Well, everybody around us has the same thing. They each have their own mountain of crap and their own perspective, and we have to keep that in mind. And sometimes our perspectives don't line up to everybody else's. So try not to judge. Try not to step on somebody else's perspective. and you see an Aussie come in off the front line for 7 days in the heat, don't tell him your AC broke for 2 hours, for crying out loud, whatever you do. Anyway, little known facts from Stewart's Almanac. Kiddos, I love you. Talk to you later.